Welcome, everybody, to Is It a Film? A weekly podcast that critiques and memes films and also sometimes TV shows. I left it on the notes, even though we're not really talking about a TV show today. We're talking about a film.
But is this a feature, though? Because it's not really long enough.
Films don't have to be short film. It's somewhere in that weird crevice between feature and...
See, that's the thing. Like,
if it was an animated film, it would be a feature.
No, because even that still has to, like, reach a certain point.
It's, like, usually 60 minutes, and that's kind of somewhere around.
This is, like, 50. They need a title, because you have, like, feature and you have short films, but there's, like, no in between, whereas, like, you have, like, short stories and novels, but then they have the novella that go in between the two. They need to come up with a title for that.
I think they just need to...
Just you can categorize it, because, like...
I don't know,
it's weird.
This is my own personal opinion, and I don't want to talk about it for too long. I think in how we're moving with the album lengths of albums, how they can be... Kanye put out 20 minutes, and that, for me, is... It could be an ECP length. It's more how you describe it.
Yeah.
I think we need to lessen the idea of what a feature is, but most mainstream features will be still 2 hours or around that ground field. That's what we should expect out of like a theater film. But for something online, maybe shorten it to like 30 minutes, and that's feature length still. Maybe that's not short length.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard because you still have to send, like, for independent filmmakers, you still got to send your film out, and that still has to meet parameters because they need to find stuff for curation.
Yeah, and it's so...
It's just a hard topic.
Somebody who's
we need the EP of film. That isn't short, which is like a single. We need the EP of film.
Yeah, because like I don't know how far,
which is essentially just television.
Yeah. I don't know how far you've gone into like sending your like film out to festivals yet. It's been kind of annoying. Like for me, I'm good because like my film is like very clearly like in the short category. Like as like I've planned on making films, I'd probably end up being in like the 40-minute range. And I'm realizing that like if you make something that length, you're fucked.
Yeah, because it's in between features. Usually shorts, like pretty much. Usually, sometimes
cut you off at 20 minutes.
Usually, it's a lot of times it's 20, but sometimes you can get 30.
Yeah,
features over an hour usually, or around that area. And maybe you can get lucky.
Yeah, if you make anything in between, like you're screwed over. And
that's why we need the EP
exactly.
of film. We said, spoilers to watch out. We didn't spoil anything except for the EP of films, the new medium. So you've been warned.
Sorry if you wanted to know that on your own when it happened, I guess. I don't know.
I'm your host, Vincent, aka question mark, because I didn't leave a aka because I forgot about this. I want to take a Guava Island.
I got one.
You didn't like that joke, did you?
No. Your AK should just be freaks, and my AK will be geeks over freaks and geeks.
And I'm joined by my ever attentive co-host, my best friend, my pal, my amigo, my droog, Jonathan.
AKA Geeks.
I hate you. This episode I almost said 131, because that's about where we are with the Anthony and Tacho, but just 31, because we're a little bit behind by only 100 episodes.
Well, we started late.
Yeah, we started late. We're late bloomers.
Yeah.
This is episode 130, I almost did it again. 31 of Is It a Film? An episode we would like to call.
You also didn't come up with this. You're the worst.
I'd rather be a Guava Eye man than a Guava Eye land. I don't know. That kind of sounds sexist.
I think I have my clickbait title though.
What?
This is a film.
Oh,
because like this is America.
No, I don't like that. That should be the episode title. But you have to say it to the rhythm of the song.
This is a film.
You don't have to do any more than that. That's good.
This is a chicken.
Don't do that. Today we're going over the 2019 musical film Guava Island. Noted that I said musical film because that's what some places are classifying as this. They're not really classifying it as a musical, even though I kind of think it is.
I don't...
It's hard because it's close, but I think...
It's a musical the same way that a Disney film is a musical. Like, it's not like a traditional musical where like the music is like much more heavily in focus. It's more of a musical where like it's mainly just a film, but every once in a while there's a song.
That's canon that's being played. So like, it's not just diegetic music.
Yeah, it's like a Disney film. Musical. Where like, I hate calling them musicals because like it's not set up the way a normal musical is.
Oh, I meant non-diegetic music. Diegetic music's part of it. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. It's not non-diegetic music. It's actually canon what it is.
Yeah.
Before we start and get... today we're going to be giving you a basic ass intro, telling you why it's important, and give you a Wikipedia plot summary, and give you a terrible, so bad. So bad. So bad. Segment, why is it so terrible?
Because it always is.
No, we don't
We
know
don't
what
know
it
what
is.
the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, we don't know what it is yet. That's what you have to say. That's your line. Learn it, love it, say it. I try to feed you that every week, and it's one of those things we have to get right on the money. Like, is it a film every week? You haven't learned yet. You got to get better at your job, Jonathan. Before we start, you can find Anthony. You can find us at film/Anthony Todd on social media at Anthony Todd on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can find us at youtube.com/Anthony Todd Show. And you can find us on your favorite podcast services like Stitcher, Podbeam, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, and Spotify by searching the Anthony Todd Show in your favorite podcast browser. What's clickbait title? What do you think the clickbait title is, Jonathan? Is it the best? It's not a musical either. It's not like it is a musical, but it isn't. So I want to put like the best musical in a decade, but also it isn't a musical. So I don't know what that is. I don't know a good clickbait title.
Me neither.
Just as good as Atlanta.
I think Atlanta's better.
Atlanta's better, but it also doesn't get as trained as this does. With
Yeah.
the music and stuff like that. It's good, just as good in comparison to like Atlanta does a specific thing. This does like similar things, but it also it succeeds and outside in different aspects.
Yeah. And it's not like the best like movie made by like a musician group because like Pink Floyd The Wall exists.
No, but also it's like he only really stars in it, and he came up with the story, but he didn't really, because he didn't direct.
Yeah.
His brother wrote the screenplay. He only really supplied the music and the performance of the music, not necessarily all the production behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a tough cookie, but I think it's a really good film. I don't know. I can't think of something on the top of my head. Do you have a good one?
No, I can't come up with one. Midsummer sucks.
Let's just say Guava Island is better than Midsummer. That worked for cats.
Work for cats.
And it'll work for us. Because at our core, we are like Idris Elba. We have committed all the atrocities known to man. So we're going to give you a basic intro. This is a Childish Gambino film revolving around the music of Childish Gambino, who is Donald Glover, who you may know from things like Mystery Team, but more importantly, things like Community, Atlanta, Martian. There's another important one I can't think of. He was New Lando and Han Solo.
Yeah.
There's another big one I'm missing. I just can't think
He was
of it.
in the first of the Marvel Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah.
But he played just kind of a big character that could potentially turn into a bigger character because he played the secret identity of what was he called? It was the one
Prowler.
Prowler, yeah, one of the villains from the Ant-Man one.
But this this film is based around his music under the Childish Gambino mantle. He's put out some great albums because of the internet, and then reinventing himself with "Awaken My Love," going down a more soulful, funkier road. This takes place. All these songs pretty much take place after "Awaken My Love" and the promotion of an album that really hasn't come out, and I don't think will come out. In the sense of they will feature this material. You have tracks like This is America, which was our favorite single, me and Trevor's favorite single 2018 when that came out. Absolutely love that song. So much nuance and so much simplicity combined into one thing to make it so easily digestible, catchy, but at the same time poking fun about how things like this are, how easily digestible and catchy they are. And music alongside that like feels like summer. Basically in promotion to create this project. I think all the music, how it feels now, how long ago this album came out, or not the album, but the film came out. I think the music that was released as singles felt more like things that were going to be on this, and this is the album, not necessarily
The album,
like
that
an
we were
actual
told.
album. I think
Yeah.
like there will be an album eventually released of this, but it would just be called Music from Guava Island, the soundtrack.
And it's not even going to really have enough songs to be like a full album.
Yeah. It's more, this is the album. This is the experience that everything was leading up to in the weird way.
Yeah.
And it isn't getting the highlight of as something like a Childish Gambino album would.
I don't think it, probably because he didn't really like promote it.
There's that, and also it was released on Prime
Yeah.
in the death wave, so that's kind of the death spot.
Yeah. Who has fucking Prime and actually stream shit from Prime?
I watch things from Prime occasionally, but only usually when I do stuff for here.
Yeah.
And I watched the Childish Gambino film.
Yeah.
But that was about it. It's directed by Hiro Mawai, who's directed episodes of Atlanta, Legion, Barry, but he's mostly known for his terrific music videos for artists like Childish Gambino, Flying Lotus, Earl Sweatshirt. He's truly one of the most visionary music video directors out there.
Yeah.
Even though he's been focusing more on TV shows and this sort of feature instead of really directing music videos. The screenplay is done by Stephen Glover, who wrote a bunch of the scripts on Atlanta, and he's also Donald Glover's brother. It stars Donald Glover and Rihanna, and music's by Michael Uzuru. Uzuru, I think. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that. I'm completely sorry. But I know he does like more of the background music, but I think he might do the enhanced versions of these songs where you get like the "This Is America." I don't want to call it industrial version, but it uses like industrial machinery.
Yeah.
So why
industrial, but not the genre.
Why is this important? It's this weird, off-canny, Purple Rain-like moment, but it isn't big enough in length. It wasn't promoted but it also was attached to an album that was supposedly supposed to come out, or might still come out. And it's really, at the core of it, it's a good film.
Yeah.
It's fun. It has a ton of nuance to it. It's well directed. The fucking color across this entire thing is so muted and beautiful. Even on these beach scenes, it seems so pastel-like, which is really nice. But it's this really off-putting area crossroads between music and film that we haven't really seen.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's just about how it's been downplayed and the length that it is overall.
Yeah. I feel like because of like his world, like how he's worked in so many different like mediums across film, television, music, I feel like Childish Gambino is like constantly trying to push these two worlds together a little bit more, because like he did things like he released a screenplay for Because the Internet, and
which
like,
I have never read it.
I haven't either. I kind of want
I know.
to.
I think he at one point says he's Rick Ross' son. I don't know if that's true, but I think I heard.
We'll have to read it at some point. But like, I feel like he's just trying to merge these two worlds, and like these worlds haven't been separated like completely, because like I said, you have like Purple Rain.
Yeah.
You have the various not good Michael Jackson films that people like to forget exist. You have Yellow Submarine. You have the Pink Floyd movie. You have like all of these times where like musicians and filmmakers have collaborated to create these like combinations between the two worlds. So I think he's just trying to do. It's always felt though like in all those times the music came first and then the movie, whereas this time the film seems to come first and then the music was put into it.
Well, This Is America feels like the entire concept of the entire thing. How can we make that canon into something?
Yeah.
But like also at the same time, like I think this movie, like singles like Feels Like Summer, I enjoy them, but part of the reason I enjoy them more now is because they were attached to this movie.
Yeah.
And I think it helps, even on their own, without their like movie versions, it helps enhance the songs and mean more of something, even though like Feels Like Summer and Summertime Magic are pretty just kind of straightforward pop tunes, where This Is America is like ton of nuance and just like it's like, oh, capitalism bad.
That's like the only, like, not to be like a dick, but like the others too, like Summertime Love and Feels Like Summer, you could have replaced those with like a lot of different songs, and the point wouldn't have been lost. But This Is America like was pretty much the only track that like had to go there. Like they had to be This Is like from Childish Gambino's like catalog, it had to be that track.
Time to go to the Wikipedia summary. People don't watch films; they read the Wikipedia summary and maybe listen to the music if it enjoys them. because they don't have Prime and they don't want to watch the entire film.
Yeah, fuck Prime.
Wikipedia summary for this starts off: an animated folktale narrated by Kofi Novia introduces the origins of Guava Island in the music played by Denny Maroon, a local celebrity who lives with Kofi. Denny Maroon is Donald Glover. She wakes up to Denny playing a tune on his guitar. He rushes out their house and is greeted by many passerby on the street on his way to work. Denny is holding a music festival that the whole town is looking forward to. He's mugged by a group of kids. This is like Atlanta level of absurdism / realism in that bit.
Yeah.
Just something weird and off-putting. And that's something Atlanta really does well with these like weird moments. Like I think how it's okay for Lakeith to shoot a person instead of shooting not a person, but a person silhouette, firing range, target, whatever they have, instead of a dog. That's completely immoral and wrong, and the stupidity that it gets into in these weird segments.
Yeah. They've always like, because I've read some of the fans like Glover like pitched the film like comparing it to like Twin Peaks, but for like the hip hop community, and they never go as like insanely.
You
weird.
mean the show?
Yeah, the show.
Yeah.
Like Atlanta, he never pitched the show like it's never gone as weird as like Twin Peaks has. Like,
but
even
Twin
in, like,
Peaks
its
for also
seasons.
Twin Peaks for the first 2 seasons, I think it's a little bit weirder than Atlanta, but also like Twin Peaks season 3 is something else.
Yeah,
but like I think
I'm saying like even in the first 2 seasons, like it's breaks from reality are stronger.
Yeah, but I also think for like what a majority of the first 2 seasons was, it's enough close where it makes sense. And like even
I wasn't
then,
saying like
even then you kind of have to be lynched to pull that off.
Yeah, and I wasn't saying like the pitching it that way was bad. I was just using that like to say like whereas like Twin Peaks goes into these even in its earlier seasons like more bizarre Lynchian surrealist moments, Atlanta goes into its bizarre moments, but the bizarrety, even though it's something that like sometimes couldn't happen, like the invisible car, it feels real to its world, whereas Twin Peaks feels like it's a different world combining with the regular world. Yeah, like Atlanta feels like it's all just one giant world. The
invisible car. He's mugged by a group of kids he knows and convinces them to not rob him by promising them seats up front at the festival, even though there isn't seats.
Yeah, it's a standing room.
It's a standing room
festival.
Unless you have a balcony space.
Yeah, in which case that's definitely not front row.
Yeah. Kofi works in a factory as a seamstress with Yara, while Denny works for Red Cargo, a despotic business. Despotic.
Yeah, despot.
Yeah, because despot. Despotic business magnate who employs
magnate, not magnet. Magnates. How do they work? ICP, tell us.
We should review one of the ICP films.
They have films.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how have we not done that before? How was I not aware of this before?
We need to figure out how magnets work. And are you truly down with the clown?
Wait, so are there films like the Pink Floyd movies, or like it's just their albums turn into like they make concept albums, like they could technically do that.
Okay, so one things I know is every year when they have their festival, they make a video, and this is completely tangent to what I'm going to talk about. They make a video, like a short film, hyping up the festival.
Okay,
and it's like a commercial, but it has like a storyline and attachments. Like I think one year they travel back in time or forward in time, some weird shit. But I think, from my knowledge, they have made a film because I knew a guy in high school that was talking about it. I could be completely wrong, and I would love for you to do some research on the spot.
I'm Googling it right now.
Because I don't know, does Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J direct the films?
I don't know.
I haven't thought about this in like 10 years. So it's probably come back to that concept.
Okay, so they have one film called Big Money Rustlers, where they're cast in it. I don't know if they directed it or not. It has a 4.1 on IMDb and a 90% on Google.
Better in Silent Hill. Not on IMDb, but on Google.
They have a film called Family where I think one of the characters is just a juggalo when I Google that, so I don't think that counts. There's another one. This is, I guess, a documentary. Oh, it documents the 2008 Juggalos, Gathering of Juggalos festival. And then they have a tour album. So they have one album where they're like actual characters. And It's a
Or one
fucking
film.
and it's a fucking western.
God, that may be one of my 5 picks. I just want to see what the fuck it is.
It's called Big Money Rustlers. There's the poster if you want to find that and put it on.
I'll put it on screen
when we edit, because this was obviously not planned ahead of time. They described it as a parody of The Good, the Bad, and the film's tagline was a parody of The Good and Bad and Ugly, called The Good, the Bad, and the Outrageous. It was released direct to video in 2010. It was premiered at the 10th annual Gathering of the Juggalos, and it screened twice there. It did it later at the Fillmore Detroit.
When are we going to a Gather of Juggalos? They do it in Ohio now.
I'm never doing that. And then the DVD was finally released the next year at the 11th annual Gathering of the Juggalos, and then nationally in 2010.
Oh my god, where was I? Why did we talk about Juggalos?
Oh, hang on. What is this? It says it's a prequel to the film Big Money Hustlers.
There's another film
that also has them in it.
Okay.
And that one's a homage to exploitation films. It also apparently I thought I saw somebody else in there. It has the Misfits in it. Mick Foley.
Oh fuck yeah. Wrestling. See, I tell you, wrestling's the crossroads.
Who's
in
Harland
America.
Williams? That name sounds familiar.
What?
Harland Williams?
Oh, I think you said Robin Williams. I was
No.
like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck? Okay, I think they might have their own. Yeah, they have their own film company.
Is it Psychopathic Films?
It's
or
like
something?
it's like a subsidy of like Psychopathic Records called Psychopathic Films. Yeah, here we go. Their subsidiaries: Hatchet Gear, Psychopathic Video. List of films released by Psychopathic Video.
Jesus Christ. Is there a lot?
It's fucking broken out down by decades. So I'm gonna assume so.
Are they like music videos or like films?
Some of them are like music videos. Some of them are like actual films. Some of them are like short films. Some of them are like, I guess, about their wrestling like seasons of like they filmed it, I guess, and like they released that. Yeah, so they have like Psychopathic the Videos, which is just like I think it's just like a music video compilation. They have their JCW compilations, which is their wrestling. Then they just have like a bunch of like random shit. They have, what is this? A Family Underground. So this is a documentary about the so they have it's just basically anything that they do related to them. I guess they
add on that banner
yeah.
because if you want our rights, you have to add on that tagline. Yeah. Okay.
So it's apparently they're working. So remember when we reviewed the Red Fred movie?
Yeah.
Apparently they have a movie based on that album. I can't find anything about it because the page was never created for it on Wikipedia. It has like one of those red fades where it's like make a page for it.
That was supposed to be like that. Was that supposed to have like a second part to it, or am I just remembering that wrong?
I mean, like it's part of their like big collection of like things.
But I remember hearing something saying that was going to continue off, and maybe I'm just
know.
confused. I don't know. I have fond memories of that album, but
Insane
also
Clown Posse is such a bizarre thing.
who employs most of the people on the island. Red Cargo. I know we were talking about Insane Clown Posse and freaking out.
How did we get to that?
Because I said I'm down for the clown and I'm down for life, and I brought up films.
No, we were talking about you mispronounced magnet as magnet as yep.
There
Magnet
we
as
go.
magnate.
We figured out our stream of psychopathic downturns.
Yep.
Funny joke.
So please don't make me watch those movies.
Well, I want to watch one. We have to now. I don't want to do all of them.
Okay,
Fuck no. But
do we want to do their normal one or their western?
I will do some minor research seeing which one is the best.
Okay.
And we will do that one.
Oh God. Okay. I was actually talking with Max earlier about how you kind of wasted some of your picks because you're like making me do Guava Island, which I was totally down with doing beforehand.
But like, here's the thing. Like, I don't like. There's one that I wanted to do and thinking about it. I don't really have the attachment to it anymore.
Which
and
one?
like, we were gonna do Resident Evil at one point, but I don't really have the effort into do
I don't
that.
give enough of a shit.
But like, I don't have an interest enough of that, but like an ICP film, that's
interesting.
That's interesting.
That's always like it's.
But like there isn't anything I would force you to watch that you wouldn't really be down with. That was the Resident Evil one was the only thing.
You mean the Silent Hill? And Silent Hill Revelations.
Silent Hill, I was gonna get you to do anyway.
No, you weren't.
But like, I was gonna force you to do it regardless because we had to finish that.
No, we don't. We don't have to finish things sometimes.
But that one was important.
No, it wasn't.
Because it was it was better than the original fight. This much. Where were we? Oh, so Red's cargo employs everyone on the island.
Yeah.
If that's important. Yeah, it is because Red's the main villain in this, so that would be my
important.
brain's on like ICP territory, so I'm straight in the lane of I don't give a fuck. I'm down with the clown. I'm down.
I swear to God, if you turn to a juggalo,
I wouldn't. I don't like having anything on my face, let alone face paint.
I don't think you have to have the face paint to be a juggalo.
I don't want to get a tattoo. I don't want to be affiliated with a gang, even though they're not gang. There's members of them that
are
there are the bad eggs in the ICP, like with everything else.
Yeah,
but like that's why they're known as a gang, or were known. I think they were taken off the list, but they're still on the list at that one point, and that's really the falsifying thing that condemns them. Well, work and employment details what he would do if he were able to immigrate to America.
I don't want to keep going back to ICP. I feel like them classifying as a gang doesn't automatically like vilify them because like think of all the other things that they've tried to classify as gangs.
No, in
Antifa.
When I went to see a lecture on a guy who has done a lot of research, not on an ICP, but I think he's a sociologist, and that's his entire thing where he goes out and researches just different groups of people, and he stuck with the ICP and done a ton of research, going to a ton of the Festival of the Juggalos and the March at DC. The thing, I don't want to talk about this for too long because this is a Guava Island review, but the thing that condemned them wasn't that made the members bad, or made, like, I think they got dropped from their label. That's pretty bad. I don't remember if that's completely true or I'm just blowing smoke up my own ass, but
probably. The
thing was, it was made for the people who had Juggalo tattoos, and they were going through a divorce, and their spouse would use that against them, saying he has a gang tattoo, things of that nature. Even if they're taking off the reserve, the fans who listen to ICP can be condemned for it. And variously, whether it's court issues or anything like that, that could be used. If you have a Juggalo sticker on your car, the cops can pull you over for that reason. Like things like that.
Yeah. But no, I wasn't saying like being condemned. Like I know like what you're talking about there, like being a gang. Like I'm just saying more like being condemned as a gang is not inherently like a bad thing because sometimes they condemn really stupid shit for being gangs. The FBI does.
Yeah.
Like the Juggalos, like they attempted to make Antifa considered like both a gang and a terrorist organization. Which if you're gonna fucking condemn Antifa as terrorists before you condemn
what's Antifa?
Anti-fascists.
Oh.
If you're gonna condemn them as being like terrorists before you condemn the Ku Klux Klan and Nazis. A, fuck you, and B,
Nazis never did anything.
Yeah, the Ku Klux Klan and Nazis never did anything. What the how does
someone's gonna take that and just splice that bit, and like 10 years from now I'm gonna go to jail for it.
Yeah. How does in what universe is the group that protests the Nazis the bad guys?
Like there's always bad eggs. I don't know the scenario, but I'm just gonna say that for everything because it applies to the ICP. But
yeah, but like
because there's members of the ICP that did fucked up shit that weren't like the Shaggy to Dope or I almost said Scuddy to Howdy, Shaggy to Dope, and Violent J, who weren't them, but if comparing like because like there's people in groups who do bad eggs, there's a difference or like. There's small groups of people who do bad eggs versus a group built around the bad eggs, which is what like the Ku Klux Klan and Nazis are. Yet they get police protection every time they do a demonstration and all this fucking shit. Because they're white.
Yeah, because they're white. And it's fucked up. Even though like there's a very large part of Antifa that are white, but they don't protect government interests.
ICP is also white, but since they wear the face paint, the police can't figure that out. They just assume they're black.
Yeah.
Even they're clearly not, especially with their music. They're very I don't want to say suburban.
I don't want to sound racist, but I have never met a black juggalo. I'm sure they exist, but all the juggalos I've ever met have been
ICP
super
is
white.
A complete worldview that's universal. I'm not joking about that.
Right. Not to be like that guy, but there are like actual like legitimate themes to ICP music.
There are. I'm
Yeah,
not
like,
disproving. I'm
actual
not saying
good
they're the
themes.
greatest fucking band of all
No,
time, but they're fun.
Yeah. I wouldn't listen to like their albums like just for no reason. Like reviewing them, I'm definitely okay after reviewing the next one. But like, I'm not gonna go out my way to listen to their music. But like, I don't hate their music.
We're talking about Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the point of the show.
They both. Can we call what they do rapping? ICP.
Yeah, it's hip hop. It's
I guess,
horrorcore.
yeah. I guess.
Horrorcore is under hip hop.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't really sound like they're rapping, but you're just kind of like saying things.
Same thing like Eminem.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford under Venom.
Well, not like he at least like sometimes tries to like do rhythms with his voice. Sometimes ICP really just sounds like they're just talking over a beat. Like they're not actually like.
So does Mark Kozlik.
Well, yeah, but he's not a rapper.
I know, but like, it's more about the genre what you're in.
I guess.
There's a ton of artists who are in hip. They're not ton, but there are artists who are in hip hop that
Yeah.
more do vocal strings.
Yeah, but that's usually like classified as like the R&B side of hip hop,
not
or like the,
always.
or
It's
like
a
they're
gray
just a
area. I
producer.
don't want to talk about this for longer. Let's get off ICP.
Yeah, let's stop. All right, rest of the review. We're not going to talk about ICP anymore.
Down with the clown. Fuck.
Damn it! What have we done?
While working, employing details that what he would do if he were able to emigrate to America, which Denny dismisses as ignorant. This is America. The song plays. This great industrial
machinery
backed version that is not better than the original, but better on its own course, because I think the music video is better, but it stands out from its own because the music video is like amazing. It's probably one of the best music videos of all time. And like having to follow that up, this does it justice.
Yeah.
Like super well. It doesn't feel like it's just copying the same thing. It fits a new point, a new context this time around. Denny is kidnapped after performing and taken to Red's Cargo's office. Red bribes Danny into canceling his festival so he will not interrupt productivity the next day. So Red's essentially the fascist.
Yeah.
Which is...
not really fascism. There's a lot more that makes fascism beyond authoritarianism.
I didn't mean to say fascism, but
He's the authoritarian dictator.
I would say something. Like in how real world logic comes, like just how westernization has worked and imperialism. I'm surprised Red is like, it appears that he's the huge owner. Like he's the huge dictator in this. But I don't know why. It's probably just because how it relates to things like imperialism. I always feel like he's a middleman in this. Because in some way, if this was related to the real world, at some point, some white guy would come in and swoop all the resources. Especially for them where they're harvesting silk and making clothes. At what point...
I think that's because that's how the real world works a lot of the times.
It is how the real world works. But...
like 90% of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not white.
But like, I don't know. It is weird that it also kind of feels super local in a sense.
Yeah, it was
like,
weird.
He doesn't feel like he has someone to report to.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, because like, if it's a thing where he only owns factories in that case, that makes sense. But like, if he's owning the silk that's being made, that's a complete, because that's a resource. And at some point, some white guy's gonna be like, yeah.
Eventually, America's gonna be like, we can use that.
Yeah.
Let's go liberate them.
Yeah.
That's what they'll call
Let's give them Jesus.
Yeah.
Or whatever
this
God.
Is a peacekeeping mission with a lot of bombs.
Do you guys have vaccines? Oh, no, you don't. You don't need them.
We don't have vaccines for you, but we do have
candles that smell like your vagina.
And machine guns.
That's a stupid point where I'm applying shitty real world imperialism logic to something that's fictional but based on real world
problems.
Yeah. Denny's kidnapped and taken to Red's Cargo's office. I read this. Red destroys his Qatar. After his guitar.
Yeah.
When Denny questions his power, registers his guitar, he returns to Kofi, who asks him about his injury and his guitar's absence. Denny brushes off her inquiry, instead serenading her with a song he promises to write since he has promised to write since they were children. Summertime Magic. Better in this context because of the steel drums that the kids are playing. Also, Donald Glover's facial expressions for this are complete meme, which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
You could say it's bad acting. I think it's
Character.
It's character, but it's also like when he's doing this, pointing to the guy that's on the phone during This America,
Yeah.
that's like get pity in a sense. But sometimes, like in This America, it's meant to be caricature.
Yeah.
It's meant to relate to this figure trying to sell you stuff. Mm-hmm. This, it's more like when he's saying, as long as it Summertime Magic.
Yeah.
It's more to be like funny, cocky,
Yeah.
serenading. It is overmuch, but it's not the only depth he has. Also, his accent falls in and out. We didn't mention this.
Yeah, like every once in a while he's tried to do an accent for like most of the film, but then every once in a while he'll just stop.
Yeah.
It's like,
And the music doesn't have the accent.
no. It's something I haven't really seen done that heavily since like a Nicolas Cage film.
But here's the thing. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's continuity error.
Yeah.
I'll critique it like that. But comparing it to Silent Hill Revelation is not mid-sentence.
No.
And his accent isn't the best, but it's enough for this fictional place. Part of that's just because I don't know where this place is.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming it's like more South American than like near off coast Africa or anywhere near Asia or anywhere like that.
Don't they speak like Spanish or Portuguese or something a little bit at some point in the film? I thought they did.
I don't know. I'm unsure. I'm assuming it's more close to America than it is like Europe or Asia or Russia.
Also, like, his breaks in accent are like this weird thing where like Nicolas Cage does a different accent for like 20 straight minutes, which you knew were just like shot out.
We're talking about Bad Lieutenant, Port of...
Which like makes it seem like that was very...
What is it?
Port of Call, New Orleans. Which makes it seem like it was a choice not only by him, but like by the director. At least these are like limited to like specific...
Because when you do that much drugs, you're going to speak differently.
Yeah, but like, it's not like this, like in that movie, like, these are like multiple scenes for like across the film that like were in the same set of like, time frame. So like it wasn't like, and films aren't shot chronologically 90% of the time. So like it was
all my films are shot chronologically. You gotta do it in order unless you're a bitch.
Yeah. So like clearly the film, like there was like some sort of like talking beforehand of like during this time frame you're gonna change your voice for some reason. Because like if it
follows through for what it is.
Yeah, like if it was something that was just like a weird thing that he did like a couple of days, it would have been like spread throughout the film a little like more scattered because it's just how films are shot.
Yeah.
Like it was very clearly like thought about. This one is kind of like just randomly like bits and pieces,
but like it's in the same scenes.
Yeah.
Too, but it isn't like segment.
Yeah.
Like Bad Lieutenant was.
So like it seems more, I guess, not like a mistake, but like not like some weird decision that I'm trying to like contemplate what the fuck they were doing.
It's in the middle. It's like I think it's been a mistake, but it isn't the worst.
Yeah.
Inspired by Tooch, Denny suddenly has to go later at work. Kofi tells Yara that she is reluctant to tell Denny that she is pregnant because of his free-spirited lifestyle. That's not why, but it's because she's pregnant in a very impoverished area, and that's scary. Regardless, being pregnant is scary regardless of where you are. Inspired by two children, Zola and Moppy. I think that's how you pronounce it. Zoila? I think that'd be correct. Mappy? It's Mappy, probably not Moppy. Because there's no O. Who performed the song Time. Denny performs on the radio again and announces that he will be at the festival and Feel Like Summer plays. Kofi is ambushed by Red he performs Feels Like Summer on the radio. It doesn't play non-giant. He performs on the radio. Kofi is ambushed by Red while both look for Denny. Here's another thing about where it makes Red in a weird way kind of feel like a metal man, or it feels like he's localized and is on a bubble. He doesn't have someone else look for Red or look for Danny.
Yeah.
He does it himself.
Does it. Yeah.
But later he gets someone to shoot.
Yeah.
I just found that to be weird. I know you need that story beat. Makes sense why it's there.
Yeah.
Because you need to establish him still as an overlooking villain.
Mm-hmm.
But I just found it to be weird that he has middlemen before and after this, because he doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he starts the festival late and performs a song dedicated to Zoila Amapi Saturday, which is the song he did after This America on SNL. I like this version better because it's more lively. It is more, just sporadic.
Yeah.
I think it has this live energy, which the SNL set doesn't really have.
There's
It's a bit of filth in the mix too. That's what makes it work. Kofi spots a masked gunman just before he opens fire on stage. He's a fucking terrible shot. Because Donald Glover just kind of sits there and looks for a second.
What? What?
Denny escapes into an alleyway, but the gunman finds and assassinates him. Red is pleased, but then discovered that all of his appointments have left work to attend a joyous blue-themed memorial for Denny. This is another thing where Red discovers this. This is like someone would tell him about this.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, because like there's someone who's gonna want to get up the ladder
Yeah.
and be the first one to tell him.
Yeah. It's kind of weird how like it just implies like he's the only person who was like other than whoever the gunman was. Who
See, that's why I think it's kind of like he's a middleman, which
Yeah.
would make sense, but I don't think that's implied. I don't know.
My question is, was the gunman at the funeral?
Yeah, he's fucking happy. The funeral looked fucking awesome.
I got paid.
The funeral was fucking awesome, even though it's like sad because different cultures have different celebrations of life.
Yeah.
Ours are very boring.
Yeah. Funerals in America really do suck.
Yeah, like I don't know. We need Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is fucking awesome.
That's why at my funeral, I want somebody to start a mosh pit.
I will just knock over your casket.
Yeah, that was what I was saying. Like, once the pit's really going, you knock my casket over and make my body crowd surf.
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have someone install robotics into my dead corpse and I'll walk around.
Just make your body an animatronic. I want my casket to have a giant spring at the bottom of it and have
Just launch the body out.
have a random number generator. And once the funeral starts, somebody hits start, and once it hits a very specific number, it just launches my body. So nobody knows when it's going to happen. It might never even hit that number. It might never actually happen. But at some point during the funeral, there's a good probability my body's going to get launched.
Oh yeah, no, American
The
funeral.
fucking tense
American funerals.
anticipation of that funeral would be palpable.
American funerals fucking suck, and don't tell me your grandmother's celebration of life is fucking awesome because it's not. It's an American funeral.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah, we don't do that. There's a big sense of community in other community, also like celebration because like death for us is the end.
Yeah.
But like in a lot of places, it's like the passing over, and like you're just like, dude, they're fucking dead.
Like, it's not, and like, I know some people are like, well, she's because of the atheism. Like, it's even in like Christian funerals.
No, it's because of Christianity mostly.
It's probably mostly the, like, I don't know, Christianity, like, for a religion that's pretty heavily based on dying and going somewhere else, there's a lot of nothingness to death. It's a lot of...
Because it's almost like it's not real.
I know. It's almost like the vast majority of Christianity was done just to get money.
Yeah. Red is pleased, but he discovers the workers have left work to Joyous Blue Deems Memorial of Denny. Kobe tells Red they finally got their day off, which Red didn't want them to have the entire time. In epilogue, Kobe starts telling a child's story about how dreams come true. So it's like an origin story about how you get, like almost a folk story about how we have Sundays off for this reason.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool that it wraps around like this. And it does it in like 50 minutes, which is awesome. Does it need more? No, but like I would like more.
Yeah.
I would like this to be feature length because I think people would actually pay attention to it more. Because there's a lot of good material on here. I think it's great. I think it's shot amazingly. Again, the muted colors, the kind of bit of grain. It's almost 4:3, close enough to 4:3, I think, and maybe like 4. What was Lighthouse in? 4:1.
That was like 1.11. It was like basically a perfect square.
It's something. It might be something similar in between those.
I'm pretty
two
sure it's
realms.
4-3.
Okay. Yeah. But I enjoy this. But you heard what we think. Time to hear what other people think. Time to go to Google reviews, where 93% of people who voted on this liked it, which is better than Silent Hill. Thank God. Martha Wiles says, "What a waste of Rihanna. I usually find Donald Glover charming and interesting, but this was a hammy story that seemed to be a Donald Glover vehicle.
It was made by Childish Gambino and
It kind of. I'll give the opinion it was a Donald Glover vehicle, and at times his acting is hammy, but it also is. It's
Donald Glover.
It's the personality of facial expression. It's not really the acting or what's being described. Rihanna 2's fine. This is the best acting I've ever seen her do.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her in the Oceans film, but I'm assuming she's probably mediocre in that because I've heard that film was But yeah, it's a Donald Glover vehicle, but so is Purple Rain. Purple Rain's a Prince vehicle.
Yeah.
Vehicles can be good films. Beautiful but ill-conceived. One person found this helpful. I think this film's amazing, but I don't think this was right. I don't understand why someone would really hate this film unless they have problems with problems with the hatred of capitalism.
Yeah.
Because this is not like it's not a hammy story. It's about how.
I wonder if they consider it hammy just because it's short and to the point.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm sorry that he didn't stretch.
And it has the animated beginning sequence, which is kind of Disney-like.
Yeah.
Rian Patel says, he said, he gets shot!
Well, spoilers.
That was the only review I could get. That was not super long. Yeah.
That's like a spoiler, but at the same time, it's not a spoiler because, like,
who got shot?
Was it Red? Was it Donald Glover?
He.
He. Was it the random guy he was talking to at the factory?
Yeah.
Was it the guard that he, like, fist bumped at the
IMDb, this has a 6.7 out of 10.
That's very low.
Yeah. It's better than Silent Hill still. Ikja 12087 says, it takes one to know one. 1 out of 10. Donald Glover goes to Cuba.
It's not Cuba.
Not Cuba. It's Guava Island, its own continent. It may be near Cuba,
but it's definitely not Cuba.
Yeah, it's not. It's subterraneously its own. What is it? Independent.
Yeah, it's like
not country, but
it's kind of a country, I guess.
Island, independent nation. Repressive socialist hellhole.
It's not a socialist.
It's not because there's a clear
capitalist setup.
Yeah. To make a film that slanders America.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
It does, but it also critiques America. I wouldn't call it slander if it's true.
Yeah.
The irony is overwhelming when he sings "This is America" to a dock worker who yearns to free oppression by moving to America. Born a privileged, Glover is free to disparage America by equating it to exploitation or repression.
How was he born?
If he's talking about actual Donald Glover, wasn't born from privilege.
No, like he plays a.
He went to a privileged school, but I think he earned that on his own.
Yeah. And like he plays a privileged character on This Is the Internet or Because the Internet, but that's not actually him.
He's privileged like now in his life, but like he got himself to that point.
Earned that status.
In the film, the character is not privileged.
No, not at all.
Just because you're famous doesn't make you privileged.
Yeah.
Glover is free to disparage America by equating it to exploitation and repression, which is true. And it's not wrong if it's true.
Yep.
In truth, these are hallmarks of a socialist utopia where the movie was made.
This wasn't made in a socialist country. It wasn't made in Cuba. It was made in a capitalist country, island, nation, state, whatever.
So, Donald Glover gets paid money.
Yeah.
Like, he gets an envelope of $10,000. They have currency on that.
Mm-hmm. And it's very clearly, established that these people have to work literally every day of their lives to make enough money to make their ends meet. That's capitalism.
Yeah.
That's what capitalism would gladly make you do, is literally work every day of your goddamn life to make somebody else rich.
Propos, Danny Glover made a documentary about Cuba that lavished it with praise and admiration. Do you know that film?
I feel like they're lying.
Yeah,
I feel like they're trying to.
Did Danny Glover make a documentary? I don't think he ever has.
I have no idea.
If he has, tell us. I don't know. The Cuban government would never allow this movie if it had condemned its political representation of the Cuba people. What a waste. This is not Cuban.
This isn't about Cuba. You're just a fucking idiot.
It's not Cuban. It's not. I don't know what to tell people. It's Guava Island.
It's literally the name of the country is literally in the title of the film. Did you go on the Amazon Prime, type in Cuba, and watch a movie called Cuba?
I think it may have
you
been
watched the wrong
shot.
movie.
No, I don't think it was shot in Cuba. I
No,
think
that
it
was very clearly like not Cuba. That's like just that's not what Cuba
No,
is.
I'm trying to remember where it was shot.
It looked closer to like a Brazil.
I thought it
or
was
something.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
I think that's where the stories first got out, where Rihanna and
Yeah.
Donald Glover shot and shot.
But you're just dumb.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, your understanding of politics is idiotic at best. Your understanding of geography is worse.
Yeah, this one just gets an okay boomer.
Yeah, that's an okay boomer.
The Engineer X. Why would you film this with the toast machine? This is actually pretty funny.
It's called it's called a toaster. you literally wasted more time calling it a toast machine.
Let me say it again. And the Engineer X. Why would you film this with a toast machine? Not on, with 2 out of 10. Year 2019, and Amazon thinks it is a good idea to film a title with a toast machine in 4:3 format. Why are you afraid of 4K cameras? Do you think it will reveal the lack of production quality and remove the fake aura you are trying to put in? I think you are very well afraid of it.
Okay, here's the couple things.
There's various mediums you can shoot on.
Yeah.
And they're all equal as long
You
as
can't shoot on toast though. Fun fact. So
You can. You get one of those toasters where
that
you
like
can,
burn specific like images, and then you just like get a different.
you
toaster for
you
each
essentially have to
frame.
get metal frames.
Yeah,
But you could make like a stop motion film on toast.
you could. That
Yeah.
would be a lot of work, and I don't think it was
The same way I say you can make a stop motion film on fruit by the
not
foot.
doing
I will do that one day. I don't care if you're fucking involved.
You pioneered the.
It's not going to be a medium.
Food
It's not going to be
film.
like a medium. It's still, well, it kind of is because it's fruit by the foot, but it's still stop motion.
And here's the thing about how films are shot in 4:3 nowadays. You film it digitally, usually on a 4K camera, and then you film it normally, and then you just change it to 4:3 at the end,
And then color code it.
and then yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, your understanding of how they shot this film is completely backwards. They shot it how you want them to film it, and then they made it how they wanted it to look
Because
to
it made it
add-
more stylistically.
and added the aura, and they weren't hiding anything. If anything, like
they have pretty huge production value.
yeah,
in
this is fucking
the crowd scene at the end.
Yeah.
The plant scene.
yeah. This is
Beach scene.
you're almost as dumb as
The amount of actors at
boomer
the
above
funeral.
yeah.
Like these are expensive scenes.
Yeah, and those clearly weren't just like basic extras because they had to do like choreography. So they had to hire a choreographer to get them all to do it. They had to have some dancing experience. You're an idiot, engineer.
Yeah, I know I am an idiot.
No, not you, the engineer.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I would before I would say this like an S tier. After rewatching an A tier.
Yeah, it's a.
A, not S.
No, it's not an S tier.
First time I watched it, I fucking loved this. I still really enjoy
you're
it,
a
but I don't
dork.
think what.
'Cause you're a dork.
I still really like it, but I don't think it's. There's still some flaws in it that were more prevalent the second time around, like Donald Glover's accent.
Yeah.
Final terrible segment. I don't know. I think we did a final terrible segment in the middle talking about ICP. I'm just gonna count that.
Yeah, that
Unless
was-
you want to spit some ICP knowledge on me, we can conclude it. But I'm not even allowed to mention it because we said we weren't allowed to reference it.
You've already referenced it, you bastard.
So that was the segment. I broke our rule.
I guess. Well, we already broke the rule, so let's just go with it. Our final terrible segment is if you were to be placed in. No, we should save this for when we do the ICP.
Is
build.
I think
I'm saving. No, I'm saving
I
this.
think the question should be the big debate question: is ICP a socialist society?
I'm gonna go with yes.
I don't know. I've heard stories about how Gathering Jellos operates, and it seems very communal, and everyone helps everyone.
That's why I'm giving it a yes.
But there's also when I saw the lecture, someone showed me footage of a guy getting. It's like from some documentary, probably the one that we brought up earlier,
Yeah.
The Gathering Juggalos. Someone instead of using face paint, they spray paint their face.
I once said it was a good socialist society.
But like, you could see he's in pain, and you're like, why the fuck would you do this? Face paint's probably cheaper.
Yeah. But you can't huff it.
I'm down with the clown, and I'm down for snorting paint.
But anyway, I'm going to save my terrible last segment for when we do the ICP
Yeah,
thing.
I think one thing I'm going to get on the ICP thing, one final thing, is how the Gathering in general operates. It seemed pretty communal in something where the term is, I think, I don't know if this is the actual term, but I've heard it been said a couple times, a disaster disaster community or something of the nature of like that, where it's like people coming around a disaster, but instead of a disaster, it's coming around a clown.
Yeah.
And forging a relationship of like all these different things that kind of happens at like traditional music shows.
Yeah.
But like this is so different because everyone has to, like with ICP, you have to be so fucking committed to it
Yeah.
that like everyone just meshes in.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, socialist society.
Yep.
I don't care if they've ever mentioned currency.
I don't know if they have
or-
any. I don't know if ICP has ever like once really mentioned politics.
Well, they mentioned not politics, but
They talk about religion, kind of.
religion and also ethics.
Yeah, but like, I guess that's more philosophy based than politics. Politics is like a part of philosophy, but like
Shaggy
it's
Dope
own.
is my favorite philosopher. I'm gonna leave it at that. Is it a film?
Yes,
Ta-
kind of.
Yeah. It is film. It's not feature.
Yeah, it's not featured though.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. Until next time, guys. I've been Vincent. He's been Jonathan. If you want to follow the Anthony Todd Show / Is It a Film on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, find us at Anthony
What's our
Todd.
ICP names? That's our terrible last segment to leave with.
Mine would be Vincent Too Hard.
I was gonna say Vincent 2-inch because he's tiny. Eat a dick.
Fuck you. Oh, now I have to come up with yours.
Mine's already set. Violent J. Mine was given to me by God Himself.
Yours is Reeser with not the big piecer.
No, see, but that doesn't fit in the.
I know, but fuck you. That's what I'm saying. If you want to find the Anthony Todd / Is It a Film Show, you can find it on youtube.com / The Anthony Todd Show. You can find us at patreon.com / The Anthony Todd Show if you want us to support our stupidity and fundamental research of Insane Clown Posse / Donald Glover. And also figuring out what the fuck is Cuba and is it Guava Island? It isn't.
It is not. Research over. I have a
and-
map I can show you. Right here on the map where Cuba is located, it says Cuba and not Guava Island.
That's groundbreaking.
Oh my God.
It's almost like almost all known countries have been discovered.
Exactly.
Or any land masses have been discovered.
Yeah.
Almost like
Except for the center of the earth. We still don't know what kind of weird, freaky shit lives under there. Jules Verne has questioned it, but no one has truly discovered
it's
it
a
yet.
core. And if you can get through it, you have a pretty big drill.
Pretty big dill pickle.
And if, unlike according to Jonathan, he says, I'm Benny 2-inch.
Yep.
Fuck you.
That's why you can't go to the center of the earth, Vincent.
You know what really is on this other side of the earth?
What?
China. People have trying to say it's like some random part of the ocean. I'm saying distinctively, China is a mindset.
Boomer's a mindset. China's a mindset.
China is a mindset of having someone under your control and abusing them.
That's just called authoritarianism. Or whatever the fuck.
It basically is having a lot of people, so regardless, you're going to make money in it
I almost
anyway.
made a
Having
joke and they've been
American
really
entertainment
bad.
industries come and work with you, and then someone says something bad about, or not something bad, they say something political about Hong Kong, and then Blizzard bans them from their competitions.
Yeah.
This episode's been off topic. I think
It's
we need
been
to
super
end it.
off topic. To be fair, it was a shorter film, so we had to pad the runtime of things.
I don't think we need to, because we talked about short films, and we got a lot of content out of that.
We did.
Oh my god. That's it. This is it for this week's Is It a Film. If you want to play around for next week, we're going through the David Lynch filmography. We did Eraserhead. We did his most recent short film. Now we're doing Elephant Man, because that was right after Eraserhead.
We're doing his second feature.
Yeah, his studio. Would you consider it? It's not like a studio album. What would you call like a feature that isn't like independent? His first studio made film.
Yeah, I guess.
Something along the lines of like that.
It was still kind of an independent vein, but it was still had like some studio funding.
Yeah.
Pretty much entirely just because Mel Brooks saw Eraserhead and wanted to make a film, so he basically just gave him the funding and then told the studios who try to interfere to eat a shit, and they're going to do whatever they want to do.
Mel Brooks was like, you need to add a fart scene because you couldn't make Blazing Saddles today.
Yeah. No, there's like a story from like when they were making Elephant Man, and have you seen it yet?
No, we'll talk about this next.
Oh, well,
but if you want to play around and watch Elephant Man, I'm tired. I have to shoot 2 more episodes. I actually only have to shoot 1, so good for me. But like,
I gotta go home.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You live here.
Oh God.
Till next time, guys. I have been Vincent.
Vincent 2-inch.
No, Vincent. What was my answer?
Vincent 2-inch.
No, I said something before that.
And I am Violent John.
No, you're Jonathan Reeser with the tiny piece.
That doesn't fit with how they named themselves.
It does to me. Till next time, guys. See ya.
Vincent 2-inch.